I'm Solus the Happy Human because I don't know. I don't know who else to be.
You don't know who else to be.
I've tried being other people.
You tried being other people?
Yes.
I can personally relate to that, but give the audience, what do you mean by that?
I've tried being Solus the Happy office worker, Solus the Happy restaurant worker, Solus the Happy odd job extraordinaire.
So you don't like to work, is what you're saying?
I work. I like to work.
You don't like to work service jobs.
I've worked a lot of service jobs.
Okay.
And it's I think it's fun.
You think it's fun?
Yeah.
So, all right, let me ask you a question. In every single one of those things that you mentioned, you said Solus the office worker, Solus the restaurant server. You're always Solus though. So why are you Solus?
Man,
boom! Look at that. That's crazy. Look what I did there,
dude. You're cutting into the nucleus of man with these questions.
Deep. Pause. Big pause.
Big pause. Yeah. Shout out to Cam and Mace.
Shout out Cam and Mace.
Changing the landscape of podcasting. Because at the end of the day, so Solus is a Latin prefix, and it means alone. And at the end of the day, when I'm done with my homies. When I'm done hanging out on pause, when I'm done hanging out with
no. Dude, see, here's what's crazy is you had me, I'm like, man, this is deep. This is deep. Like, I can't wait to hear this.
Dude, they fucked everything up. Cam and Mace fucked everything up.
But you don't blame Cam Mace. You said, well, I'm done with the homies, and I let it slide. I wasn't going to say anything. I was like, it is what it is. But go ahead, continue. So when you're done with your homies,
the commenters weren't gonna let it slide, man. They weren't gonna let it slide.
Okay, so when you're done with your homies,
when I'm finished off with my homies, it's just me by myself. You know what I mean? And it's like when I'm creating art, when I'm writing, it's like it's just me. It's just me on myself. I think they say like every man is an island. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just kind of like, or it's like we all die alone. Some emo shit. Even if
it's gotta be the most depressing thing I've ever heard of an island. Like when I think of an island, I think of like a tropical place to go get a tan.
Damn, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's actually beautiful.
But you're saying the phrase is every man is an island, as in we all die alone? That's what the phrase is?
Like when you're like working on when I'm working on something, it's like it's just me like by myself, like alone.
I see what you're saying.
Even if I'm with or basically let me make it sound less emo. It's just like it's coming from me. So like it's coming from like my like alone, like it's coming from me. So like, and I think everyone is Solus. You know what I mean? Yes. Everyone's like we're collaborating, but we're also like doing our own thing,
Mm-hmm. So you have no problem being alone, is what you're saying. That's what the name is you are happy working independently and going through this life on your own if you needed to. Is that what you're saying?
It's like actually the happy human is like to offset like the Solus, like
okay,
because like I made the Solus and I was like Solus is a dope name, but it like means alone, like it's kind of emo, you know.
So I see what you're saying. You want that balance.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, got it. So your music though, walk us through, because anyone who is viewing this right now, we know you can rap. Like you got bars. I think that every video I've ever seen, especially in your song Long Story that just dropped, I think last week, once the people see this, like it's no secret that you can rap, right? But in terms of what you just explained, why do you make music? Like how does that reflect in your music?
Just like, I don't know. It's always been something that like I was just attracted to, like. Even like as a kid, I was always just down to like make words connect, and like I always just saw it as something fun.
Okay.
And yeah, like just like as attractive, like why why do like basketball players play basketball? Like why do athletes like do what they do naturally? Like I was always like naturally attracted to the pen.
Okay.
And just like just writing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm slow to respond, dude. This chair is very comfortable.
Dude, hella comfy, right?
Very, very comfortable. And I'm like over here, I find myself like listening to you and thinking, I'm like, man, like this guy's making sense, and realize I got a job to do. But I'll give you, let me ask you, let me tell you why I ask these questions. Okay, this camera, this equipment right here. I'm an artist myself, but I have noticed that in today's market, that a lot of artists who are very talented almost struggle to connect. And I don't think it's their fault. I think it's the landscape. But I remember when I was growing up on music, part of what made you connect wasn't even necessarily the music. It was the personality, right?
Yeah.
People weren't, I feel like artists aren't doing interviews anymore. And honestly, I can't blame them when it comes to like, I feel like everyone's looking for a salacious moment. Everyone's looking for like, okay, how do I go viral as opposed to like, how do I show my true personality in a way that people can relate to me? So that is the why behind Nobody's Listening, right? We are doing that because we're doing this not for ourselves, but to make sure that other artists have the opportunity to connect and that we also connect. Because everything you're saying, I actually relate to a lot. When you say that Solus is the only person that you know how to be, you know, my birth name is in August, but that's the only person I know how to be. Like genuinely know how to be. So continuing with the music, man, like when did you start actually recording the music?
Recording? I'm 29 now. I recorded when I was like 13. It's like me and a homie went to Fry's Electronics.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, that has to have some sort of microphone. You know what I mean? And they didn't have any microphone. They only had like a scammer headset.
A scammer headset? There's no way in Fry's Electronics it says scammer headset.
A call center headset. You know what I'm saying? But it was a scammer headset. And and I was like, all right. And I Googled them like free, because I had a Windows laptop. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't have GarageBand. And I was like, oh, what can I download? And I didn't know about FL Studio or anything. Right. And like, so, which I found out about like a year later. And then they were just like, Google was like, Reaper. I think it was Reaper. I think Reaper's still out. Reaper. Okay. Yeah, it's like some shit. And and so I recorded and like we put the headset on and I think we YouTubed the MP3 to beat. And then but like we tried to be cooler, so it just wasn't like the headset on. It's like we grabbed the headset and you grab the mic and we were holding it like this.
Yeah.
And
it's crazy you say
it just made sense. It just clicked to me. I was like, this is, I mean, like at least at the moment, I'm like, this is what I want to do. I'm like, this is dope. Man, I hope I'm good at this. Yeah.
You really just went out and got it done. You had a vision and you went out and got it done. How many songs you make that way?
Man, we made a couple songs.
Only two? Only two songs?
I think in the moment, because it took forever to write, you know. Now I could just write like pretty quick. But like back then I was like, oh. It'd take me like a few days on like sheets of paper, you know?
Well, okay, I gotta ask about that. I didn't want to. I want to save this till later in the interview, but I gotta ask now that you bring up the writing. So you struggled in the beginning with writing, and now you're much faster. Outside of time and practice, what changed for you? Did you say, "Oh, if I just do this, it helps me"? Like, what changed?
Like, I think like forming like those like neural pathways, and just like naturally like having like an ear like. You know, Juice WRLD, like you hear him and he was like, you hear him freestyle and you could tell he's like a genius born with like those like neural pathways of just like knowing what rhymes with what and just thinking of it on the spot, thinking it makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
And like, but over time, like it was building that connection, like a chess player, like knowing the moves, you know what I mean? Because the English language is so crazy, you know? And there's like so many things, so many rhyme schemes you could go down, so many like, you could do like an A-B rhyme scheme. You could have the internal rhyme scheme. You know, all these little tricks that are just, that makes it more fun for the listener and then makes it more fun for you when you're writing it. It's like you're writing. I write on my computer right here. And
right there, live in action.
You could zoom in and get a leak on some stuff if you want. If you want to zoom and enhance. And like, friggin', but like, it's more like, because I don't know, like kind of like look at the way I do, like I kind of like people think I'm a white boy, I'm Hispanic, I'm half Guatemalan, half Nicaraguan.
Hey dude, you're looking at the example of people think I'm white.
Wait, what are you?
I'm Mexican.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck?
See, exactly. That's
damn.
That's a crazy.
You got it worse than me, bro. You got it worse than me.
Would you say you're a genius?
I don't think I'm a genius. I just like to do it. I think I'm really blessed because like I naturally want to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. which is like, you know, which like led to me like to the detriment of other things in my life, you know, falling by the wayside.
Yeah.
But like I've definitely like committed like a freaking disproportionate amount of time to like writing raps, and like even like when I'm just like chilling, you know what I mean? And I'm like watching Game of Thrones, in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, I should write a rap about this. I should write a rap about this.
Yeah.
Like my mind is like rap centric.
Rap centric. Okay. So
just always thinking about that.
you said, before I go to the rap centric thing, you said something I got to address it. You said to the detriment of other things. What things?
I mean, like I don't have a college degree. I'm broke.
So?
True. You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like the only thing that really matters to me is this deep down. I hope it works out.
In almost every story, you strike me as someone who might like come up stories. Is that true?
Oh, for sure. I'm a rapper. Yeah. You gotta love the come up stories.
Of course. So I'll name one that comes to mind. Actually, no, I'm not going to name one that comes to mind. Every story that I have heard that I resonate with, the artist was like sleeping on someone's couch, sleeping in someone's basement, and putting everything they had into this music thing. Everything, you know? So to me, I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong. There's nothing wrong with pursuing your dreams and not having means. People who might listen to my music say, well, you diss broke boys all the time. Like, isn't that hypocritical? And when I say broke boys, I want to make something clear. I don't mean broke as in you don't have money, right? I don't mean broke as in like you pay your bills and then you don't have money. I don't mean broke as in you don't even have a job. That's not what I mean. I mean broke as in you are mooching off of other people, right? And not providing something in return. Like you are in whatever situation you're in to make sure that you pursue your dreams. Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
yep.
You're broken in the sense of maybe you don't have money, but you're not broken. You're not mooching off of other people because obviously someone believes in you. If they didn't believe in you, they'd say, get a fucking job. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, I've been there. So, but
thank you. Yeah, no, that means a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
So do you feel like those things are important to you, or do you feel like they're important to the people who are important to you?
Wow. Yeah. It's important to the people that are important to me.
There you go. Tongue twister. I almost messed that one up.
It's important to the people that are important. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. All right.
Unfortunately, I don't have a Porsche.
Then what are your goals with this? Like, where do you want to see? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Hopefully on stages, festival stages, tours, just entertaining fans.
Okay.
Just being around the world, worldwide.
Worldwide in 5 years.
Mr. Worldwide. Yep.
Mr. Worldwide.
I'm doing shows with Pitbull.
Okay.
Akon in Africa.
Okay.
8 Ball and MJG. I don't know why I said that in the South.
All right.
Maybe I want to do a show in yes. That's it.
Yeah. So you want to do in 5 years you see yourself worldwide. How do you plan to do that?
Just make, work this social media game. It's not really work. I'm just being myself and just like putting myself out there more. I feel like just at the beginning of 2024, I finally started putting myself out there, because it's one thing to be a rapper. It's one thing to be an artist that's always working on your craft. But I feel like I spent a lot of time kind of just locked in my workshop, and just like, I got like thousands of raps. Yeah, it's chill. All I would do was just like write raps.
How many songs do you think you wrote in this space?
In this space, maybe like a couple hundred. I just moved here from Oakland.
A couple hundred?
Yeah. I just moved here. Yeah, I moved here like a few months ago.
So we're talking 200 songs.
Yeah.
How many songs do you have released?
I have like 15 songs, 20 songs released.
Where all those songs at, bro?
Coming out this year.
All right.
Yeah. I'm about to go off like a fire alarm, bro.
Go off like a fire alarm.
I'm about to smoke out the rap game.
Do you need to check on that? Is that something you need to check on?
You know what, man? I feel no sense of urgency except to get this bag.
How are you so connected?
These things just happen. You know what?
Don't.
No pun intended, these things happen.
Okay. All right.
You got to tap in.
All right. I'm not. See, this is where I draw the line right there. That's where I draw the line.
That was 2 puns right there.
Shout out G-Eazy and Sweetie, but what like? Are you in the studio? You run into these people, or like?
No, I just went to my manager, J-Mo.
Okay.
J-Mo
Shout
Free.
out J-Mo.
Shout out J-Mo. He it was like a connection through the homie Nump.
Okay.
Bay Area legend.
Nump. All right.
Made I Got Grapes.
Yeah.
Filipino, Gorilla Pino.
Mm-hmm.
Beast. He was like, he texted me, he was like, yo, body. Come to this address in Chinatown. They're shooting a music video. And it's for a new Pilo song, featuring like a bunch of crazy, huge Bay Area artists. And it was, and they were shooting the video in Chinatown. Mm-hmm. He's like, meet me over there. So I was like, oh, for sure. What should I be there? As soon as you can, body. I was like, all right.
What does he call you?
Body.
Oh, okay.
It's like it's like the Filipino bro.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. I didn't even know that. And then, yeah.
There you go.
I was like,
you learn something new every day.
And then I just started saying it myself. Yeah, I'm just saying it in conversation. You know what I'm saying? And like,
yeah.
And freaking, so and then I went, and then, and this is Nump. Nump is like, he's like big on content. He's like huge on Instagram, huge on social media. We were like talking earlier about social media coach. He's like a perfect social media coach. He was just like, so and then like, I get there like within an hour. I'm like, oh. And I get there, and then, they're all shooting the music video. G-Eazy, freaking Sweetie, La Russell, Pilo, Larry June. I'm like, and I'm just standing there on the side looking cool. There's like 100 people, you know what I'm saying? There's like a bunch of people just popping that shoot. And then I call Nump. He's like, oh, I'll be there soon. He doesn't show up for like 4 hours.
Damn.
So he's like, he basically just like threw me to the shark. So I had no choice but to like network with people and just kind of like introduce myself to people. And I was like, hey, G.
Hey, G.
I just said, oh, yo, G. I was like, yeah. And I was like, what's up, man? Can I get a photo with you? He's like, sure.
I see. I feel like you would have called him Gerald.
I feel like everybody calls him Gerald.
You think everyone see?
But then maybe everybody thinks everybody calls him Gerald, so everyone calls him G.
I don't think I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. I think you either call him Gerald or G-Eazy. I'm gonna keep it real.
You can't go G.
I feel like G is too generic. Like for all right, if you're talking to, unless you know him personally, right? Like, and I don't know G-Eazy. I'll just spitball it. Stupid. All right. Put it this way: if your name was S the Happy Human, okay, and you were a multi-platinum selling artist, worldwide known, you think a fan would be like, "Hey, yo, S." Like, no, bro. Someone who's your fan is probably gonna be like, yo, S the Happy Human. Like, I feel like they would either say the whole thing or your full name. You know what I'm saying? Or when I say your full name, I mean your actual birth name. Like if someone's like, hey, yo, but you said it, he responded. Obviously, he doesn't.
Yo, Daniel Marno Balderrama.
So, all right.
He was like, this guy's whack as fuck. Yeah.
In that situation, though, would you consider yourself an extrovert? Not just in that situation. In general, do you consider yourself an extrovert?
Yeah, I'm kind of an extrovert.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like the Kendrick Lamar, like antisocial extrovert. Sometimes I'm like that. I really like. He said that line one time, and then I just really liked it. I was like antisocial extrovert. I thought that was sick.
Yeah.
And
so you're a huge Kendrick fan, is what I'm.
Oh hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen Kendrick like 5 times.
You've seen him live?
Live. Yeah.
I haven't seen him live.
Oh, what?
I know.
What are you doing, bro?
Dude, I haven't been to a concert. I actually just went to a Ludacris concert.
That's pretty sick.
Hey, no, Ludacris was always
He's a goat. He's a goat.
He was always in my top 5. I know it's going to sound... Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as a West Coast rapper myself, I know some people will be like, that's blasphemous. Say what you will, Ludacris. I saw him live. That man's breath control is phenomenal. He can it's crazy. Well, I'm not here. We're not here to talk about Ludacris. Shout out Ludacris. And what?
No, I don't know.
The breath control? No, I'm not tracking that. But shout out Ludacris. Shout out G-Eazy. Shout out everyone we're shouting out.
Yep.
So
and then I saw Sweetie. I was like, yo, Weedy. Let me get a photo.
Yeah, I mean, like you call her Saw. Hey, Saw.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, Saw. Like
that's an iconic like horror franchise. Also, it's like it's an honor.
Saw, dude. Like not Saw, like Saw. S-A. You know what I'm saying?
And you could be like, you know how people say Saw, like Saw.
Yeah, that's
like,
what I'm saying.
Saw. Saw 2.
So you were there by yourself. Did anyone like say like, who is this guy? Like, did anyone try to get you off set or?
I was kind of just lurking on the side the whole time, like trying to like mind my own business. Not my mom, just trying not to stick out too much.
Right.
And then I was just kind of like an assassin with the selfies. Like, you know, like when breaks came, like, you know, I let G-Eazy walk by me a couple times to get comfortable, to make him think that I wouldn't ask him for a selfie.
You really planned this out.
I was there scheming. This is what Nump got me into. He threw me into the sharks.
Okay.
You know, so then all of a sudden he walked by a third time. I was like, oh, yo, G.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, what's up, man? What's up, cool dude?
What's up, cool dude? He called you cool dude?
Let me get, I forget. And he's just like, I was like, oh, let me get a selfie. And yeah, but for the most part, for the video, yeah, I was just like chilling on the side. So
you think he would remember the story if I tagged him in it?
Probably.
There you go. I hope so.
I think I was a big part of his day.
So this was in San Francisco, right?
This is San Francisco, yeah.
I watched you perform at the Brick and Mortar in San Francisco.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell me about performing. How do you feel about it? Like, where did you start? How do you feel about it now?
Man, like when I first started performing, actually, it's been like this roller coaster.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been crazy. Like fucking, like when you first start performing, it like, especially if you're like a big dreamer like me and you like, you go to concerts and you visualize yourself up there.
Right.
Like you're just like, yes. And like, I used to like not have stage fright because I'm like, this is who I'm meant to be. You know, like it's a Disney Channel original movie. Excuse me.
This is who I am.
This is who I am. Feel the rain on your skin. I'm like, yeah, like I belong here. And I go out, you know?
Yeah.
But like, that was kind of like a crazy energy that I really like on stage. But then like, you know, this past year or beginning of 2024, I got picked up by my manager and he kind of just started pushing me into these spaces where I'm not really like, I feel like a lot of us, we perform in front of our homies for like, you know, like our first concerts. And he like put me in front of like people that didn't know me, didn't give a fuck about me, and like didn't like me, hated me.
Hated you?
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, that's a lot.
Wanted to kill me. No, just in front of people who I kind of had to earn their respect.
Okay.
And that like crazy energy that like it didn't really work. I kind of had to normalize myself a little bit and just kind of like find out what appealed to people.
Right.
And like, cause like I grew up like, I mean, I've been to like tons of hip hop concerts, but I always like Kanye's concerts, and he's always just like, like just, you know,
I love this.
You know, just like we always do it this time, like just like running back and forth across the stage, and like, you know, it's like, but it works because people know him already because he did more boring performances when he started. So like when I started performing there, and I would try and like pull that shit. I like quickly found out that people don't they have to fuck with you already in order for that to work.
Well, pump the brakes, not necessarily.
Okay, yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. When you say work, what is your definition of work? Like when you say not work as an effort, I mean work as in like for that to work, for that to be successful.
Yeah.
Like what is your definition of successful in that regard?
Like just to like get the crowd on my side. Cause it would be like at bars, people are like drinking and like, you know, they have the option. They're not really a captive audience, even though you're performing in front of them.
Right.
They could just be chilling, drinking and talking, and they don't have to look at you. And I was always like, I want them to look at me. I want them to like.
I see what you're saying.
I want them to be having a good time.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
So then I would like to change. I would like to change your perception just a little bit. Okay.
Oh yeah, please do.
When I think performances should be based on where you're at. That's what I think, right? So that might not work at a bar, but not because it's you, right? Or not because it's not Kanye, or it's because in a bar setting, people are just trying to talk to each other and music is the background. If you're performing at a bar And it's not like a headline event. Everyone's like, hey, let's come to this bar and watch him perform. They're just there really to drink. Then essentially speaking, you're almost like, I don't want to say a jazz band to throw shade at a jazz band, but you are there to provide a service. You're playing music and people either mess with it or they don't, right? But if people are going to like a concert hall of any sort, like of any size, then I can understand what you mean by that. You see what I mean?
Totally. That's facts. I think I just wanted to win them over despite that.
Right.
Usually despite the fact that, you know, I knew I wasn't supposed to really turn the party up, but like, I'm like, I hope I can though.
Yeah. Well, you know what, man? Speaking of turn the party up, you have a couple of songs. I feel like, not a couple songs, sorry. You have more than a couple songs. Hella is a party song for sure.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
I think that song's hella cool. No pun intended. We also just came up with Break Some.
Break Some, yep.
So tell me how that song came together, Break Some.
That song is produced by the boy Calais. Shout out to Calais.
Shout out Calais.
Huge Bay Area producer, produces for Pilo. And big names all over the Bay, all over the world.
All right.
We went down to LA, actually got to work with him. Me and J-Mo and our team. And and Calais just like made the beat on the spot. Just like cooked it up, bam, bam, in like 20 minutes. And he was like, and the hook was his idea too. The song is, you know, crazy energy, like, you gonna make me break some. And it's like, it's kind of like Brockhampton inspired. If you ever listen to Brockhampton,
yep,
like that, Boogie, I think that song's called, but like, just like kind of like a crazy funk vibe within hip hop. And he cooked that whole thing up. He kind of came up with the concept of like break something, like with like a crazy type energy to the song. Mm-hmm. And it was like it was really fun working with him because he had like a clear vision that was like,
this is what I want it to sound like.
Yeah, totally. And he's like, you could interpret it how you wish. He's like, but I'm going to come through with this funk sample. And I think we should talk about breaking something.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool.
How do you feel about that? Because I know that some rappers that I've worked with before are very particular about like, I don't want anyone having any influence on what I write, what I say.
Oh yeah, dude, it was so hard. It was so difficult.
Really?
Yeah, like I'm surprised he didn't slap me. You know what I mean? Like, because like I feel like
were you being difficult in the studio or what?
I like just like in hindsight, I'm just like all I need to do is listen to this guy. You know, to a certain extent, of course. But I'm like, it's like it takes so long for that lever to like get pulled. You know, it's like a huge lever, and it's like. And then if you don't keep pulling and you let go, it'll snap back.
I see what you're saying.
And like, but like, yeah, like in that session, I feel like it clicked, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's just like, and I've like taken that lesson like kind of with me. So like when I get like a beat from like someone else, I kind of take into account, I'm like, rather than me like applying like what I want, what I think is like the best artistic thing, like what would they also think is the best? Like if they were here, if they were Calaying it right now, like what would they want?
What's their vision for it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a collaboration is just that, right? Like a collaboration is you are putting your ego aside and that person putting their ego aside and everyone who's involved putting their ego aside and deciding what is best for the song. Almost like the song is a child, right? And all of you guys are parents of the child. This is going to sound crazy. But like, think about it like, you know, everyone should do what is in the best interest of the child or the children or whatever, right?
Yep,
like
yep.
In the instance of being a parent.
Do it for the child. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I understand when rap purists, hip hop purists are saying like, hey, in order for someone to be considered a top lyricist, they have to pen everything that they're talking about. And that there's no argument for me there. But in terms of making like a song, I'll listen to what anyone has to say. And I will even give credit where credit's due. You're not going to catch me out there like, oh yeah, I wrote this line, that line, that line. Like for you to say he came up with the hook, break something like that, that takes a lot of humility, you know? So
100%. Yeah.
So question off of that, how do you feel your ego plays a part in your music?
I mean, like, I feel like I came from like, I basically just like always try to like emulate who I looked up to. And it was Kanye for like a long time.
Okay.
I went to the Yeezus tour and like the St. Pablo tour. And I saw like prime, like egotistical Kanye.
Right.
And so it's like whenever I thought of being a rapper, it's percentages, but like maybe like 40% was like, I'm gonna be in the studio and just fucking telling people what to do and like making my vision come true and doing crazy shit, you know, just like stuff like that. And like, and the other half was like, and like 40% was like Lil Wayne.
Okay.
And just like writing insane punchlines. But yeah, like I think I just kind of like grew up like in my formative years, like ego was like a big part of it.
Where did that change for you?
I think just like in this past year, I just got like, I had like so many like wins last year. I headlined the Brick and Mortar twice.
Dope.
Gained thousands of followers, you know what I mean? But more than that, I feel like I finally like kind of got my footing and figured out the formula to like keep that train rolling. And like, and I finally started giving a fuck and started caring. And with that, you know, with that huge wins, it was like also just like playing at, you know, like being disappointed when you couldn't catch someone's attention, or like feeling like you could have done better in a session over a beat. And it's just getting that feedback from like the universe, like, okay, you need to perform, like you need to like do what these people like. You need to like consider what other people like too. And it's like, I don't think I'm selling out, but it's just like, I'm just being more considerate.
I don't think you're selling out. What is your definition of selling out?
Like for a while, it was like even giving an inch. You know what I mean?
In terms of like sacrificing your personality, or like, what do you mean by giving? Like giving what?
Like sacrificing, like some people would say you should always, you know, do whatever you want, but like I'm happiest when everyone else is happy. So in reality, I am doing what I want by like making everyone happy. And like, it was just like a self-destructive mindset to think that like, I should only like try and like make myself like happy, like make like the highest like form of art. You're trying to make other humans happy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that makes me happy. Like when that makes you a happy human. That makes me a happy human for sure. I want to spread the joy. Wouldn't you say it's also self-destructive to try, because it's very hard to make everybody happy and keep everybody happy. Oh, right? Yep. So how do you struggle with that? Or is that not a struggle for you at all? If you would think that it would be, like if like someone was like, oh, I didn't like this, then I'd be like mad about it. But like, I just kind of like taking it in stride. Like if I ever, like whenever I get like a comment, like a hating comment, like I don't fuck with this, like I always like try and reply and be like, you know, hopefully you like the next one. And it's like, and that's like, and I really feel that way. Yeah. I'm just happy. I'm happy I tried. Yeah. Yeah. That should be what it is. I love that you said that about the comments. A little personal story before I ask this question to you. Yeah. A lot of my friends would most likely say that I am a sensitive person. And I think they're correct. But where I feel like most people are incorrect about me is where they'll say, I care about what other people think. That's not true. I care about what the people closest to me think. So as you've probably seen, people on YouTube fucking mean, or TikTok mean. And I only say mean because I'm not gonna call them something. I don't know who these people are. You know, mean is the only thing I can think of that is like a I don't want to say safe, but a fair thing to say. They'll say things like, you know, don't quit your day job, put the fries in the bag, uncle, you know, like shit like that. I think it's funny. Yep. That's what I was getting at is. Yeah, it's hella funny, honestly. I'm like, dude, but I'll like mess with them back. I'm like, honestly, I just lost my job bagging fries, or like whatever. Yeah. You're taking it in stride. And I'll literally like, I'll look at my wife, my friend, like, look what this guy said. This one was clever, right? And people like will be like, you're not bothered by this? And I'm like, no, I'm not bothered by this. Like, I don't know these people. They don't know me. Yeah. Like, I get offended when my friends say something and say, bro, not only do you know me, you have access to me. You could call me and be like, hey, what did you mean by this? But instead of doing that, you chose to make an opinion without talking to me. That's why that. Exactly. So what I was going to ask you is, how do you handle
how do you handle criticism, both from strangers, maybe from just acquaintances, and from people that you care about?
I always take it into account. Sorry, like if someone's criticizing me, if someone's hating on me, like I like run it through like my processor. I'm like, why are they hating on me? Like, is it because it's valid? You know what I mean? Is it because like they give a fuck about hip hop, and they don't want to see someone like put out bad hip hop? Is it because they think I'm good, and they want me to be better? You know, because they think I have potential.
Yeah.
I'll always see it in that positive light, because when people talk shit, like that's feedback, you know, like when people drop fire emojis, that's feedback. They're like, keep going, keep doing your thing. You know what I mean? And that's good. But like when people hate, it's like, why are they hating? And it's like, is it because they're jealous? Is it because like, you know, like their girl likes me, you know, something like that. And then you just like, you're like, okay, just come up with some answer. And then like accept it. You know what I mean? So
it's funny you mentioned that, because you said hate is good feedback, and it depends. Because to me, I feel like if the hate is good feedback, then it's not hate, it's criticism, right?
Yeah.
So
everything is criticism secretly.
Well,
or if they're like, yeah, I don't know, like even if they say like fuck you, like that's criticism. It's like why would they put that? Because there's no one out there that's just writing "fuck you" like on everything.
There are people out there.
They pick what they're gonna put. They're gonna write.
Maybe not everything they come across, but anytime they comment or every time they comment, that's what they're saying. So I wanted to ask you, what is your definition of hate?
Hate is like, I guess just like "fuck you," like, or like going out of your way to say something like extra mean.
Yes.
Yeah,
I agree
because they want you to stop doing what you're doing.
Yeah, or make you feel what they feel.
Yeah, or sometimes it's like or like a hate comment will be like something really obvious but you didn't see it.
Right.
Like it'll be like, man really needs a haircut, and then like and then everyone likes it. You know what I mean? Yeah, and you're like, oh, maybe I should get a haircut. Or you could be like,
yeah,
let me just completely ignore this.
Yeah,
and then hopefully everyone respects me for it.
Timing and visibility is what I will add to that, because all right. Yes, I need a haircut. You could have DM'd me that. You could have hit me.
Yeah.
You could have hit me.
But it's like, if they don't know you, they don't owe you anything.
And that goes back to my point. I agree with that. Is that like, if they caught that there was a booger in my nose, right? Like, damn, they caught me. Like they caught me slipping. That is what it is, right? But my boy of like 20 years shouldn't be the one trying to get jokes off on the internet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly. Yeah.
Because this is like, bro, like I'm pushing 30.
Yep.
I'm like a week after, or 2 weeks after this comes out, I'll be 30 years old. Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So
when's your birthday again?
February 2nd.
2nd. Yeah.
Album drops. Birthday Boy Volume 30 on February 2nd.
Get that.
Put
the cover right here. Bah!
Bah! But the point I'm getting to is that, like, hate to me is balance. If everything was love, everything would suck. If everything was hate, everything would suck. I think you need the hate, because
I've been to places where it's too wholesome. I'm like, where's the hate?
Where's the hate?
Like, what the fuck?
Because you want the hate because you want to know that another side exists, right? Like if everyone says, "Oh, this is so good, this is so good, this is so good," you might never change. Versus one person hates and says that guy needs a haircut. You at least have an opportunity to look at yourself and say, do I need a haircut, or is that person just hating?
Jealousy is just love and hate at the same time.
I'm not gonna lie. I love that line. Because that has to be one of the realest things of all time to say. Jealousy really is love and hate at the same time.
Facts.
Right? Like, I hate that you have this and I don't. And I love the thing that you have.
Yep, exactly.
So
still blows my mind. When I heard it, I'm glad you think the same, because when I heard it, I was like, oh,
dude. So
I'm gonna tweet that.
With rapping, I feel like a lot of it is like, what are you saying? To me, the biggest part of it is like, depending on where you go. Again, going back to the timing thing, right? Depending on where you go, do you want to hear something impactful, or do you want to hear someone that's just like skillful? So I'll give you an example, using you as an example. I saw recently that you went to a Bars on Wheels cipher.
Oh, yeah.
Me personally, I'm only speaking for me. first of all, shout out Bars on Wheels because they're fire.
Iconic, pushing the culture, doing amazing things.
Shout out Manny. Shout out Vinny Shoots.
Yep.
Facts.
Triple facts.
So when I go to Bars on Wheels, I am not necessarily looking for like depth in lyrics, like because they're a freestyle platform for the most part. I know people sometimes go in there and spit writtens, but like for the most part, it's like showing your capability. So when I go to that platform, I am kind of looking for someone with skill. It's like, oh damn, that was a clever bar. I'm not looking for like this deep, meaningful message, right?
Yeah.
But in listening to music, the keyword music, like if I'm in my car or if I'm at home, like if I'm really in a mode to listen to music, I am looking for something that relates to me, that can speak to me, right? Mm-hmm. So when someone says the word, when Drake raps, but jealousy is just love and hate at the same time, like someone can look at that and say, man, that wasn't hard. It's like, well, you're looking for a bar. You're looking for skill, like a cipher skill. That's not what he's giving you. He's giving you something that everyone was thinking, but no one had the ability to put together. Yes. So my question for you is, what is important to you?
Dude, everything. Like, I'm so all over the place with like what I care about in any given song. Like sometimes I'm like, okay, I want to like impress like the biggest old head in New York with this. Because that's like the beautiful thing about rap. Like, I just love rap. And like, probably like the thing that I don't care about is like auto-tune shit. You know what I mean? Like mumble rap. And it's like, but like some part of me like hates that I don't, because I'm like, there's something there. There's like hella art there. And it's like I think when like mumble rap is like done well, it's the best.
Okay.
Which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? But like, fucking like.
Is it jealousy hate or just hate?
It's love and hate at the same time.
Okay.
In tandem.
I love the honesty.
And like, but like, there's like different stats. It's like a fighting game, and it's like authenticity, you know, like I feel like the jealousy is the, like, if we could, glaze Drake in 2025, I'll do it. Okay. I'll be the first. And like, the jealousy is just love and hate at the same time. When I hear something like that, it like clicks instantly. And it's like, I just imagine it's like floating in that's one of those bars that's just floating in the universe, waiting for someone to find it. Boop. Bah.
Little grab. Yeah.
And that's what rapping is all about. When you're just writing and you like you find one of those bars that's so obvious. And
how did I not think of this sooner?
Yes, exactly. Or you hear someone else say it, you're like, oh, why didn't I think of that? Because it's so obvious. Like, I heard Boldy James say the other day, he's like a dope ass fucking underground rapper, I guess. Yeah. He's like, I remember putting 10 in the tank. Now I got an M in the bank. And I don't know. I like that. I was like, duh. Why hasn't anyone said that before? 10 in the tank, M in the bank. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Well, honestly, floating in the universe.
A lot of this, and I've learned this personally in my journey, is like, I can't lock myself in my room and make an album every time. Like, I got to go out there and talk to people, because a lot of this stuff,
you got to live your life. You got to live your life. That's so important.
It's also conversational. I guarantee you that line from Drake most likely came from a conversation. Man, if you think about it, he's jealous because he loves and hates me. And then it's like, damn, like, jealousy is just love and hate at the same time. Like maybe that's not how it came about, but like, a lot of lines.
And he stole that from. No, it's like, yeah.
You gotta think the ones that are relatable are ones that come up in conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, you say something like, "Hey, clean the house, clean your room, clean your room." That's a common one, right? Imagine if there was a song that wasn't corny called "Clean Your Room." Right? Just the phrase, like, clean your room. It's like, we'd say it all the time. We don't even realize that it's a bar until someone makes it a bar. You said something about mumble rap that I want to address. I actually, when it first came out, I never released it, but I made like not a diss about mumble rappers in per se, but the genre as a whole. But the older I get, the more I realize when it comes to sonics, like just sonically, there is something literally for everybody. So the fact that there was a genre created, yes, it is hip hop based because, or it's hip hop based because mainly drum patterns and things of that nature, and what people presume rappers would talk about, quote unquote, in that music. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's only hip hop. It could be a subgenre, but they could have just made their own genre. I believe that every person has a genre for their voice. I really do believe that. So to me, I stopped hating on it because I'm like, man, these people just discovered a whole new sound for their voice, right? Like your voice, I hear on like the beat that you played me, that lo-fi, like boom bap stuff, right? Like I hear your voice. I'm like, that makes total sense to me, right? I can't hear you yodeling. That doesn't mean that you're a bad vocalist.
It pains me though that I'm not. Yeah.
It pains you that you're not a yodeler?
I want to be.
But you see what I'm saying though, is that like, just because you can't do this one thing does not mean that you're bad at it. Focus on the thing that you're really good at is what I think. What do you think of that though?
I agree with you. Yeah. I think you should.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then venture out every now and again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe you'll be lucky enough to stumble into something amazing.
Something beautiful.
You're like, whoa, I'm really fucking good at like screamo for some reason. I'm glad I tried it. And that's what's important about like staying locked in low key and just fucking writing over every type beat that you can.
Yep.
Because it's like you have to have your ass in the seat in order to discover it, in order for it to come to you. But yeah, you should stay in your lane for sure. Man,
Solus, you really are a happy human. I really do appreciate you having you on the show. Second time, by the way, because I messed up the first time.
It's cool.
So
I corrupted it on purpose.
So tell the people out there where they can find you.
You can find me everywhere, every social media, every streaming service. Just make sure you spell SOLUS, the Happy Human. You can even just type in the Happy Human. I should come up. If you type in Solus, SOL, you're going to find Solange, who's very talented. But then you type the U and then Solus, the Happy Human should come up.
There you go. And Solus, any big shows, any big songs coming up that you want to announce, or any songs that are out now that you want to shout out to the people?
I got 2 singles out right now. Long Story produced by Dars, and then Break Some produced by Calais. And those are my 2 big songs right now. We're really happy with them, so we're just trying to push them right now. And I appreciate you having me on your platform so I can push it and kind of let the people know who I am. So,
of course, man.
Thank you.
You're always welcome. Thank you for coming to our show. Remember, when you think nobody's listening, somebody is.